Welcome to BearyVaried. I'm John.
I'm Rona.
I'm Ross.
And today we're going to be giving you our spoiler-free review of Avengers Endgame. You can't say really anything about this film without giving things away. I will say that Marvel and Kevin Feige stuck to their word in the fact that about 95% of everything we've seen in the trailers really is toward the first 15-20 minutes of the movie. So there is a whole 2 hours and 50 minutes out there to explore. And it is wonderful, and it's fulfilling, it's satisfying, it's awesome. And there were really only two factors, two things, two approaches to a couple of characters that I wasn't a big fan of that would, you know, keep it from just like perfect marks for me. I'll get into those in the spoiler review, so be sure to check that out once you've seen it, and I'll let you know what those are. But otherwise, it was awesome.
So yeah, I'm kind of struggling with spoiler-free review because to me, even seeing the trailer is kind of spoilery because it gives you stuff to expect in the movie and it taints what you go into actually experiencing, because that's marketing, right? Marketing versus what the actual thing is. But so I can say that they did not rest on the build-up of the other movies to substantiate the character development in this movie. Like, they still delved into everyone. They still built the story and the feel and the connection and the all the stuff that means so much to me in this movie. And I would say like more so than they have in any other Avengers or ensemble movie thus far. Maybe if you look at like the individual movies, so I feel like Tony had a very strong development of character in the first Iron Man, for example. So the individual movies, yes, but as far as the Avengers, it was a lot of caricature up until this point. And this did it differently, and it was awesome. So
They hit the field.
they hit
All the feels.
all the feels, yeah. So that was really impressive. I was expecting 3 hours to feel like 3 hours, but aside from my bladder trying to speak to me towards the end, despite me taking measures not to use, like I went to the bathroom right before, and I also didn't drink anything for like hours before this movie.
It still got you.
It still got me. Yeah, it was just engaging the whole way through. I don't think there was a single point in the movie where I thought like, how much is left, or like how long has passed, or anything like that, except for thinking, I hope this doesn't end soon. So, yes.
Can it just go forever?
Forever! Yeah, so it's everything you wanted without knowing that you wanted it, because there was everything was a surprise in the most fulfilling way, if that makes sense. So yeah, and there was so much hype built out around this movie, so the fact that it was so fulfilling was just a shock in a great way. So yes,
It's like there's a lot riding on this.
There's a lot, yeah.
And it's like, it can be so easy to just flush it all down the drain, like.
Seriously.
But no, they did it right, yo. Ross, what you think?
Much to what Rona had to say, the only time I really caught myself looking at, the time was like, I don't want this movie to end.
Yeah.
I was having so much fun with it. And to be honest, for me, it was worth the wait. Just the whole 22 movie series leading up to this, just the wait from Infinity War to Endgame, it was all worth it. I think it paid off. And I was amazed by what I expected coming into the movie. And within such a short period of time, it just threw me for a curveball, and it kept throwing them at me.
Yes.
Right? The
And
stuff
I
that-
loved it.
yeah.
I couldn't stop being shocked by it.
Yeah.
So
That stuff that you expect
yeah.
all happens in the beginning, and then you're like, okay, so all of that's happened, now what?
yeah, it's like, oh, what can we do from here? Like
Yeah.
this is already like big stuff. Like, I'm glad we have this 3 hours now.
Right.
Yeah, and even if you're the kind of person who just dives down the rabbit hole of YouTube theories and things like that about this movie, that's me.
Yeah.
I thought I had a pretty good idea of how things go. And just like, yeah, as you said, as Ross says, like, you know, pretty soon into the movie they let you know you don't know shit about what's gonna happen in this movie.
Yeah.
And the thing is, it's not done in a bad way. It's done in that way where even if you are one of those people that go through all the theories and you have your heart set on how you want it to go, and then usually that causes a lot of angry fans.
Yeah, failed expectations.
Right?
Like, oh,
But
well,
in
if I
this
made it, it'd go this way.
Right? But in this one, it was like, it didn't matter. It didn't matter if you thought that it was going to go one way or another, because it made sense, man.
Yeah.
And it was real.
And the surprises to me, it's not just that it was emotional, like, oh, I'm gonna like get teary-eyed surprises. It was the humor, just the out of left field characters that appear. I mean, they have so many callbacks in this movie, and it's just you almost have to watch it a second time to catch everything, because there's so much packed into it.
But not callbacks for the sake of callbacks, and the laughs were not there for the sake of the laughs either. The callbacks made you, it heightened the experience of what was happening in that moment, and the humor did the same thing. I feel like the humor was so natural. The interaction between people and those moments are things that would happen in real life in sad or trying or challenging moments.
And the callbacks were earned.
Exactly.
You know, it's like it's built up over so long. That's kind of the luxury of this franchise at this point. Not every film can do that because they don't have, 21 movies building up to it. But, we're living right now and we're watching the movies we have right now. And they do have 21 movies to build it up. And this is our 22nd one. And it pays off. Now, touching on a point that Ross said, this is going to be our last point for our spoiler-free review, is needing to see this a second time.
God.
It's like Ron said last night. It felt like is this an April Fool's joke?
On like the 25th of April.
Cue the rage here.
Yeah, like a month late. All right, on this one, yes. Okay, imagine, right? If you're watching this, you have an interest in Avengers and Marvel, I'm guessing. Okay, 11 years in the making, all these movies, all these things, right? So how about out of any movie I've ever seen in theaters, we had 2, if not 3, of the worst audience members you could ever imagine sitting directly behind us for a 3-hour movie. They made fun of the heavy parts where like real character development and stuff like that's happening. They talked all the way through, or shouted all the way through action scenes.
It was kind of like as if Beavis and Butthead were commentary. Like,
oh wow!
You know what I mean? Like commentary on the movie as it was happening, as you were watching it for the first time. So not when you're like invested and you want to go back and watch it with commentary, and not the entertaining Beavis and Butthead that we all have a like soft spot in our hearts for. No, the like absolute like douchey, horrible, obnoxious, like inconsiderate.
Slurping slushies, crunching popcorn very loudly, burping at maximum volume, talking at maximum volume.
Yes, they only spoke at one volume, which is outside voices.
It was
they
about
don't
like
know
this.
inside voices at all. And about probably like 45 minutes into the movie, one of them goes off to the concession stand and comes back with 2 sodas. And for the following 20 minutes after that, they decide to have a full volume burping contest.
For real, like in the movie, a burping contest. It was crazy. And when I say like all the things we've mentioned are probably things that you guys can all relate to and have experienced as far as like horrible moviegoers go. But when I say chewing popcorn loudly, I don't mean just like putting it in your, I mean like each popcorn piece, before it was even in their mouths, they would like bite into 5 times like a rabbit, just like.
Then burp.
It was crazy.
And then on top of that, they come to Endgame. Endgame, keep in mind, is the name of this one. And they just, in that same one volume, loud as hell voice, say, oh, I think that, oh, did you see Winter Soldier? oh nah man, nah, I haven't seen Winter Soldier. And then the next reference, oh, have you, nah, I haven't. It's like, who comes to Endgame and you haven't seen anything else? And you're just gonna talk over everything, over the movie itself. The audience who came there invested to just sit there like, we care, we don't care that you don't know this. Go do your homework and come back.
Discuss it afterwards.
Yeah.
Like normal people.
Like normal people.
Like normal people.
Like just barely decent people. Like, at least if you're gonna talk, just change the volume. Despite them, we still feel so, like, just positively. How are they into the movie enough to book tickets so far in advance that they managed to get better seats than us? Like to the pre-show, like the movie's only supposed to come out today.
Yeah,
right?
they're using a special level of wizardry and
right.
people.
How did they care enough to do that and then not care enough to show up and actually watch the movie?
I believe that's what you call a douche wizard.
A douche wizard.
A douche wizard.
And at the end of the day, all right, two final things. We were so mad, like, at this shit that we even had to include it in the video. We had talks about this and how are we going to, like, but no, public service announcement, right? Is the best way you can put it. At the end of the day, don't be an asshole. Be considerate, right? There are things I think actually what they did was worse than someone spoiling the movie on like social media or something.
Because they spoiled the movie all the way through it.
They not even spoiled it. They just ruined it.
Right.
They just
spoiled in that sense.
Yeah, they just defiled it. And then on just a basic level of human courtesy, they knocked over their popcorn. I mean, within like, it's probably only 2 kernels, but they just chewed them all about 32 times. Because it looked like a whole mountain of popcorn just left all over the floor, which they left for, you know, the theater staff to have to deal with afterward, which I think is a major dick move.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. And also, if somebody turns around and tells you more than 3 times, 4 times, 5 times,
6, 7.
Yeah.
Like, and in a nice way.
We weren't shy about it either.
Yeah, it started off being like, guys, please stop talking. Please just lower your voice, just a little bit, please. And then it just went to like, you know, like numerous.
We didn't pay for your commentary. Are you going to talk the whole movie?
Right.
Yeah. So if you're doing that and ignoring everybody telling you, then maybe you need to look at yourself a little bit. Oh no. Okay. All right.
It's real though. It's real.
Okay. Are we okay? Is that our therapy session there?
Yeah, man. But yeah, what were you saying, Ross?
Oh no. I was just saying, like, if somebody has to tell you that many times, maybe you should think about yourself and be like, oh, maybe I am ruining this for other people.
Right.
Yeah, that's how oblivious they were. I was being like extra loud to them as they came out, saying like, what kind of jerk talks through the whole movie at one volume the whole time, and he's like passing by me as I say this, and after 3 times continues to talk and ruin the movie for everyone else. And this guy just kept on walking. Like, they're so in their own worlds and so oblivious of other human beings that part of me is kind of like, well, who would expect them to be considerate? I think they believe they're the only 2 people left on Earth.
Yeah, it's like I was saying, their parents either love them way too much or way too little.
Yeah.
Harsh but true.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
All right. So, yeah, so we basically gave you how our movie got spoiled in our spoiler-free review.
Yes. And in the next one, we will happily tell you about all the spoilers and take a deep dive into it, and we will not venture, reference, speak of these assholes ever again. They will forever be memorialized in this video with the hope that maybe someone out there will see this and realize maybe I should take a second look at how I am and be considerate and be a better audience member and enjoy movies for what they are, because we love them, you love them, and when somebody comes in like that, it's disrespectful. But until next time, we're gonna hit pause. If you like this, you can see more. Feel free to give us a like, subscribe to BearyVaried. We're here all the time to give you all of the best insights and our thoughts on every movie we check out. So Until the spoiler review, catch you next time. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We out.